What do the world's richest man, a New York City mayoral candidate, and a former host of The View have in common? It sounds like a joke, but the answer is serious. Their American citizenship has been publicly questioned. Recently, former President Donald Trump suggested that the citizenship of these individuals could be at risk, talking about deportation, arrests, even revocation. These are unsettling words, especially when aimed at citizens. Can a president really threaten someone's citizenship? What does the law say? Today, we'll break down what was said, who it was about, and why it matters. We'll separate political rhetoric from constitutional reality and see what this means for all Americans. Let's get into it. Let's start with Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, the world's wealthiest man, and a naturalized American citizen. Musk is a name that's become synonymous with innovation, risk-taking, and the relentless pursuit of the future. He's not just a business leader, he's a symbol of what's possible when ambition meets opportunity in America. Musk's story is the American dream. Born in South Africa, he moved first to Canada, then to the United States, chasing bigger dreams at every step. After years of hard work, he became a U.S. citizen in 2002. His journey is a testament to the idea that America is a place where anyone, regardless of where they start, can make it to the top. So when Trump suggested at a rally that Musk could be deported for disloyalty, it sent shockwaves, not just through the tech world, but across the country. The idea that even someone as prominent as Musk could have his citizenship questioned for political reasons was both startling and unsettling. The implication? That naturalized citizenship is conditional, subject to the whims of political power. It raises a fundamental question. Is American citizenship truly secure, or can it be threatened by those in power if you fall out of favor? But here's the legal reality. Denaturalization is extremely rare and can't be done by presidential decree. It requires a federal court, and only if citizenship was obtained fraudulently. The process is rigorous, with multiple layers of legal protection, and it's designed to prevent exactly the kind of political abuse that's being suggested. There's no evidence Musk's citizenship is in question. No case, no investigation, just political theater. The rumors and headlines are just that, noise, not substance. But the spectacle has real consequences for how people feel about their own security. But the message is chilling. If you weren't born here, your place can be threatened for political reasons. For millions of immigrants, this kind of rhetoric stirs up old fears and anxieties, making them question whether they truly belong. Over 23 million naturalized citizens live in the U.S. Doctors, teachers, entrepreneurs, soldiers. They are our neighbors, our colleagues, and our friends. They contribute to every part of American life, from the front lines of healthcare to the classrooms shaping the next generation. They swore the same oath as anyone born here. Their commitment to the country is no less real, no less binding, and no less meaningful. Suggesting their citizenship is conditional undermines the very promise of America. Once you're one of us, you're one of us. Period. That's the foundation of our national identity, and it's what makes America unique among nations. The law protects all citizens, regardless of birthplace or political views. The Constitution is clear. Rights and protections apply equally to everyone who has earned citizenship, whether by birth or by choice. The threat against Musk isn't about him personally. It's about the principle that citizenship, once lawfully granted, is permanent and protected. If it can be threatened for one, it can be threatened for all. When powerful people question that, it cracks the foundation of trust in our society. It sends a message that loyalty is always under suspicion, and that no one is truly safe from political retribution. The legal basis for deporting Musk doesn't exist. This is political posturing, but the fear it stirs is real. It's a reminder that words from those in power can have far-reaching effects, even if the law stands firm. We must reaffirm, citizenship is not a weapon. It's the bedrock of democracy. The right to belong, to participate, and to be protected by the law is what binds us together as a nation. Defending this principle matters for everyone, not just billionaires. It matters for the small business owner, the teacher, the nurse, and the student. It matters for the future of the country itself. The real test is whether we stand up for the rights of all citizens, no matter who they are. Our values are measured by how we treat the most vulnerable, not just the most powerful. The law is clear. American citizenship is a right, not a privilege to be revoked at will. The 14th Amendment enshrines this protection. making it a cornerstone of our democracy. That's a truth worth defending. It's a promise we make to each other, and to every new American who joins our story. The Musk story is a warning. Our principles are only as strong as our willingness to protect them. If we allow fear or politics to erode those principles, we risk losing what makes America special. We must not let political threats erode the security of citizenship. The strength of our nation lies in our unity and our shared commitment to justice and equality. The American promise is for everyone who calls this country home. It's a promise that must be kept, not just in law, but in spirit and in practice. Let's keep it that way. Let's stand together to ensure that citizenship remains a source of hope, not fear. On to the next story. Now let's move to New York City politics, where the city's vibrant diversity and complex history often set the stage for national debates about identity, belonging, and power. Here we meet Zohran Mamdani, a state assemblyman, Muslim American, and former mayoral candidate. Mamdani is known for his progressive stances and his deep roots in the Queens community, where he's become a symbol of a new generation of political leadership. In a highly publicized moment, former President Donald Trump claimed Mamdani was in the country illegally and should be arrested if he ever returned to office. The statement was made loudly, echoing through rallies and social media, and quickly became a talking point among Trump's supporters. But what are the facts? Mamdani was born in Uganda, immigrated to the United States as a young child, and grew up in New York City. He's a naturalized U.S. citizen, having gone through the same legal process as millions of other Americans who now call this country home. Not only has he been vetted through multiple elections, but he also holds public office, a position that by law requires proof of citizenship and a thorough background check. His journey is a testament to the American dream, and his story is one of civic engagement and public service. There's absolutely zero evidence that his status is illegal. The accusation is not just unfounded, it's a clear distortion of reality, designed to cast doubt where none exists. So why make such a claim? Because Mamdani embodies what Trump and others have often targeted: a young, progressive Muslim person of color who challenges the status quo and represents the changing face of American politics. Labeling him illegal isn't about enforcing the law. It's about delegitimizing political opponents based on their identity and sending a message to others like him that their place in American society is always up for debate. The threat to arrest him is a dangerous misuse of state power, reminiscent of tactics used in authoritarian regimes, not in a democracy that prides itself on the rule of law and equal protection for all. In America, you can't simply arrest a citizen on a whim. Our Constitution guarantees due process and requires probable cause, fundamental protections that separate democracy from dictatorship. Mamdani's response was to stand his ground. He used the attack as an opportunity to highlight the real fears and anxieties that immigrants and their families face every day in this country. This isn't just about one politician. It's about the message sent to millions of Americans that your legitimacy, your right to participate, can be questioned simply because of who you are or where you come from. Such rhetoric doesn't just target individuals. It chills political participation, stokes fear in communities, and undermines the very foundation of our democracy. The law is clear. A president cannot order the arrest of a citizen without cause. Our legal system is built on checks and balances, not on the whims of those in power. These threats are not grounded in legal reality. They are political tactics, designed to distract from substantive debate and to sow division. When leaders use such rhetoric, it damages trust in our institutions and erodes the public's faith in the democratic process. That's why it's so important to call out these tactics and defend the right of every citizen to participate fully in our democracy, regardless of their background or beliefs. The question isn't about Mamdani's citizenship. It's about the health of our political discourse and whether we will allow fear and suspicion to define who belongs. Words have consequences, especially when spoken by those in positions of power. They can either unite us or drive us further apart. We must reject the use of citizenship as a political weapon and insist that our leaders rise above such divisive tactics. Every American deserves to feel that they belong, without fear, without suspicion, and without having to prove their legitimacy over and over again. That's the standard we must uphold if we want our democracy to thrive and our communities to flourish. As we reflect on this story, let's remember, the strength of our democracy lies in our commitment to fairness, truth, and the inclusion of all voices. Now let's look at our final story. Our last story is about Rosie O'Donnell, comedian, actress, and native-born American. For decades, Rosie has been a familiar face in American pop culture, known for her quick wit, outspoken views, and her willingness to take on powerful figures. But perhaps nothing has defined her public persona more than her ongoing feud with Donald Trump. Her long-running feud with Trump is well known, but recently, it took a darker turn. What started as a war of words on television and social media escalated into something far more serious, something that raised questions about the limits of presidential power and the fragility of our rights. Trump publicly mused about revoking O'Donnell's citizenship and exiling her from the country. It wasn't just a personal insult, it was a threat that struck at the heart of what it means to be American. O'Donnell was born in New York. Her citizenship is a birthright, protected by the 14th Amendment. The Constitution is clear. If you're born here, you're an American, with all the rights and protections that come with it. The idea that a president could revoke the citizenship of a natural-born American is not just illegal, it's unthinkable. It's a violation of the very principles on which the country was founded and a reminder of why checks and balances exist. This wasn't about immigration status or national security. It was pure personal animosity. The feud had crossed a line, moving from the realm of celebrity gossip into a dangerous game with real-world implications. The threat was performative, but the mindset behind it is dangerous, using state power to punish critics. When leaders use their platform to target individuals, it sends a chilling message to everyone watching. O'Donnell's response? She mocked the threat, comparing Trump to a fictional tyrant, King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Her humor was a shield, but her point was serious. Unchecked power is the stuff of fantasy, not democracy. Her point, this isn't how America works. The law, not personal vendetta, rules here. Our system is built on the idea that no one, not even the president, is above the Constitution. But when leaders float ideas like this, it erodes democratic norms and makes the unthinkable seem possible. The more these threats are repeated, the more they risk becoming part of the political landscape. It's meant to intimidate. If a celebrity can be threatened, what about ordinary citizens? The message is clear. Dissent could come at a cost, no matter who you are. This rhetoric chills dissent and encourages silence. It creates an environment where people are afraid to speak out, worried that they too could become targets. The feud is now a case study in how personal grudges can threaten constitutional rights. It's a warning about what happens when power is wielded for personal revenge, not public good. The danger isn't that O'Donnell will lose her citizenship, it's that such threats become normalized. When the extraordinary becomes routine, our democracy is at risk. Citizenship and due process protect everyone, not just immigrants or minorities. These rights are the foundation of our society, and they belong to all of us, regardless of fame or fortune. When those protections are threatened, it's a threat to all of us. The erosion of rights for one is a warning to everyone. In America, the law is king, not the president. Our leaders are bound by the same rules as the rest of us, and that's what keeps our democracy strong. We must never forget that. The moment we do, we risk losing the freedoms that define us as a nation. Our democracy depends on it. Let's wrap up. So what have we learned? Denaturalization is extremely rare and can't be done by a president, only by courts, and only for fraud. The threats against Musk, Mamdani, and O'Donnell are empty rhetoric, not legal reality. But they're not harmless. They're part of a broader pattern of questioning who belongs in America. These comments aren't isolated. They're part of a narrative that seeks to redefine citizenship and silence dissent. Knowing your rights and understanding the law is the best defense against fear and division. Citizenship is a right, not a privilege to be threatened. A strong democracy depends on informed, confident citizens. Let's protect that truth, together.